Doctor, a very important point I would like to discuss here, that what would you say the environment of home itself, when parents themselves, they are watching films and dramas, if father is sitting next to the daughter and they are watching a love story, right, and a father walks out of the room, maybe for a toilet or some reason, right, and he comes back and he's asking the question from the daughter, that what was the story, I missed it, and she's now explaining. This is an understanding of our home environment, okay, and mother, she is always on the dramas and films, and definitely what they are watching, right, this is a gateway, this is a start, right, and definitely those children, they are growing and getting in an age where you develop some sorts of needs also, right? So do you think it's also important to fix environment at first place at home in terms of Islamic teachings, and to teach modesty to our children, and then alhamdulillah when we say our children, they should have khawf khuda, fear of Allah tabarak wa ta'ala, and then we teach them what is modesty, what is appropriate to watch and what is not appropriate to watch, then we will have ta'seer and effect when we explain them. What do you think on this?
Now that's a very important point. Parents should be discussing these things in an age-appropriate manner with their children, and especially the father with the son and the mother with the daughter. Unfortunately, because this does not happen, then what happens is that when they're at school, the other children are talking about this. Yeah. They get dragged into it, or they find it intriguing, they get an interest, and what happens is that they end up learning all the wrong stuff. All the inappropriate stuff, and the parents need to play an important role in this, and certainly if the home environment is such that these things are accepted as something that is normal, then clearly that's the message that the child is getting. If it was not normal, if it was wrong, then why would my parents be watching it? That's the message that the children are getting. So parents have to obviously again set boundaries in this term. I mean, clearly we've been talking about boundaries.
Parents
but whenever
parents may be having an idea where is the borderline, but definitely the children, they will not have that idea.
Clearly, and what happens is that when we talk about the boundaries, so what I do mean, obviously, in addition to the social boundaries or norms, we are talking about the boundaries set by the the Holy Quran, by the teachings of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So if the parents themselves are breaking the boundaries, they are being disobedient to the order of Allah Azza wa Jal, then clearly how can they expect their children to be obedient to them? So a lot of this lies within the parents. The responsibility once again comes back to the parents, that they need to reflect that their own actions that need to be changed for it to have an impact on the children. And once again, so let me raise this question again, is that how was my teenage time period? What did I used to do? What were my habits? If I was indulged in those negative habits, then the chances are obviously these will have transferred via the genes into my children. Now, they can be saved if parents change, because genes themselves do not lead to 100% guarantee that that's what the child will turn out to be. The genes need an environment for them to be effective. So if the now parents in their teenage years, in their sort of like early adulthood, they were doing all this stuff. Now through the media, through the TV, they're providing this environment to the children, that the genetic makeup meets the environmental toxic environment, and there you have it. Who is to be blamed?
We love Madani Channel. We love Madani Channel. We love Madani Channel.